know that you think you're the coolest one in town, but to me you'll be much cooler when you're 6 feet underground. Some of us are crazy, some are smart and brave. Well, it doesn't really matter, we all end up in the grave. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. I say it, all my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead.
Hello there, breathers.
And welcome back.
To another
Interesting.
weird,
Always weird. Informative
entertaining
episode.
of
All my favorite people are dead. I'm Sue Teresi. Who are you?
I'm pretty sure I'm Shannon Butler.
And I'm pretty sure you're Shannon.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed.
No.
You know, we the name of this podcast is All My Favorite People Are Dead.
Yeah.
We talk shit about dead people, right?
Well, sometimes shit. Sometimes
Good things.
Good things.
Yeah.
Depends on who's dead.
We say that all of our favorite people are dead, and that's mostly true. We got a couple other favorites that are still breathing. You're one of my favorite people.
Oh, right back at you. And we're still kicking.
But we don't interact with the dead on a physical level, like this.
A Ouija board?
No, like this asshole down in Pennsylvania. Did you see this in the news?
Which asshole? You have to be specific.
I know there's a lot of assholes.
I'm beginning to think the world is... you talk about a zombie apocalypse. I'm like, I think we're there.
I've lost my faith in humanity.
No.
It's
still people like you and I. And
yes.
Animal lovers. No, I think there's more of us than them.
It's getting less likely.
Which Meshuggah are you talking about?
So this guy, this Jonathan Christ Gerlach. Yeah, his middle name is Christ, and I just want to go Jonathan Christ Gerlach.
That's his real name?
That's his name.
Okay.
He's 34. He was arrested a few days ago for being caught red-handed breaking into mausoleums in a mostly abandoned cemetery outside of Philadelphia. You didn't hear this story?
No.
He was found.
Is this going to be ew?
It's ew, yeah.
Well, let me guess. Why was he breaking into mausoleums? Well, he wasn't a grave robber?
This is almost like Ed Gein, ew.
Ew.
Yeah.
But aren't they they weren't freshly dead? They were like skeletons.
Investigators were looking into the fact that this cemetery had been burglarized and the mausoleums were broken into and blah, blah, blah. These cops were at the mausoleum when they find this car with bones in the back seat. There.
So he was taking bones?
He was there. He was removing things. When they got to his house, they found 100 sets of remains in his house, in a storage unit.
So he's taken home skeletons.
He's taken home skeletons, but they also found mummified hands and feet and 2 still decomposing torsos.
Okay, that's not where I thought this was going.
No,
I thought it was going to be a necrophilia. I'm actually better with this.
You're better with this?
Than I am with some necrophiliac? Yeah.
This is still desecration of a corpse.
So I was... Oh, no, absolutely. No. Believe me, I'm not condoning this, baby. I just thought it was better than where you were going. Because
you thought it was
a different
sex
set.
with
Yeah. I was like...
I was wondering that too. I'm like, did he...
Why? Well, that's why I said if they've been there and it's abandoned and they're all... Because I think necrophiliacs, it's not a thing with skeletons. They kind of have to be just...
He had decomposing corpses.
But, okay, but yeah, torsos and body parts. So either, is he
that they found.
Okay. So is he like an anatomy student? I'm not condoning this behavior, but...
He was actually openly selling this stuff online.
To
oddity shops and stuff.
See, there you go. So this was a robbery.
This was a robbery.
He's stealing these things to make money.
Yeah.
See, grave robbers, I think, years ago used to steal because they would bury the dead with jewelry. Right. Or doctors needed cadavers to work on.
There was a couple last year in Toronto that got caught for stealing jewelry and memorials and things.
Right, yeah. They bury the dead even now. So we were at the catacombs in Paris a few years ago.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, that's another... They had to exhume all these cemeteries because they ran out of room, and then they reassembled them and blah, 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 blah. And you're walking around, and they made art out of these dead people. It's gross.
Yeah.
But there was a sign at the beginning or at the end that said basically, don't be taking no bones.
Right.
So... head scratcher, people like me go, there's a reason why they had to put up a sign. It made me want to ask, but my French isn't that good. What the hell happened in order to warrant this sign being there.
Sure.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
That's a souvenir. I'm going to take somebody's pinky.
Right.
Oh, I got this, pinky from the 1700s, and apparently people
They do it.
do.
Yeah.
I never occurred to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I collect maybe like magnets or things. I never. I could take that guy's, skull. Alas, poor Yorick.
That's what this guy was doing, and I just.
And the sad thing is, he was like selling it, and people are buying.
People are buying. Yeah.
People buy other people's bones. Now, again, years ago, doctors or whatever needed that because they couldn't find bodies to study. And I mean, I understand to an extent,
Yeah.
But okay,
it's wild. Yeah. So and if you Google this guy, and you look
I'm not going to.
He's something to behold. He's a really weird looking motherfucker. A really weird guy.
And his real name is Christ?
His full name is Jonathan Christ Gerlach. 34 years old. I mean, guys in their 30s aren't usually that bright anyway. But I'm like,
no,
buddy.
I was so not knowing where you were going with that. Look, everybody's got a hobby.
I mean, yeah.
And, it's fast money.
I like taking pictures of headstones and tombstones.
Headstones, not the people.
Mausoleums and, no.
I was at, me, for those of you who don't know, I have this thing with weird things at yard sales or garage sales. I got a bumper sticker that says, weird things found at the curb. I think the weirdest thing I have ever seen, I've seen like breast pumps.
The headstone.
The headstone.
Yeah.
I've seen breast pumps and potty. I'm like, why would you buy that with body fluids for your child or your wife? Okay. I've seen some very weird things that you really should recycle and not sell. Mm-hmm. The weirdest was a huge headstone.
Yeah.
I told you this. Now, me, again, you people like Shannon and I go, oddities. And it was one of those like coffee table length, heavy, slabby ones.
And people do use them for coffee tables. They do.
And I looked at it and I was torn between actually saying how much and thinking, will this fit in my van? Will it, make it go down? Thinking I can put it like in the backyard or use it for a Halloween party or a coffee or, and then the other half of me was like, this is like somebody cried over this. It had the name and everything. You could still read it. It was from the 1800s. And I'm like, this is bad karma. You cannot bring this into your home. But me being Sue Teresi, I had to ask the guy.
How much?
Not only how much, where did you get this from?
Yeah.
And he says he used to work in a cemetery, and the city or the town was putting in a road, and they had to exhume the bodies and bury them somewhere else, and order new headstones, not at the expense of the family.
Right.
So when they reburied everybody, they gave them compensation, bright new headstones, but they didn't know what to do with the old ones, so they discarded them.
Right. It happens.
And I said, and you just thought you'd sell them at a yard sale.
Why not?
And then I'm thinking, people like me inquire. So it's very strange.
There's a headstone for sale right now at the curio closet over here on Main Street.
How much?
I don't remember.
I mean, some of them are just, ornate, the old ones, but they're heavy. And I just, the thought of like bringing that home first appealed to me. I'm like, that's a coffee table, that's great. Wait on my, next Halloween. And the other part of me said, oh no. Yeah. That's like such bad.
And they actually have bones for sale there too. At this
human bones?
Yeah.
See again. So well, they must know Jonathan Christ.
Yeah, they must.
Ew. All right. I don't get it. Yeah. I'm in the wrong line of business. He probably makes more money than we do doing podcasts. Really? I can tell you that.
Seriously.
Okay. Good to know.
So,
what do you want to talk about?
That was what I had to talk. You got some. Do you have a proper dead person? I just talked about a living person, which we don't do.
No. Okay. So, kind of, sort of, not really weird. Okay. We're still talking
about. So the person's dead, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Good. I just broke a rule by talking about a live person, but who was collecting dead people? So there's that.
It's functionally related.
Yeah.
No, you broke no rule. And by the way, Shan, this is our podcast.
It is. We can do whatever.
We make the rules. Yeah, we can talk about whoever we want.
That's true.
We can talk about somebody, and then
he's in jail right now. We don't.
Okay. No, he's disgusting. No, anyway. We'd like to discuss about this, but he's not our major topic.
No.
So I like Degas.
I love Degas.
I love Degas. Let's talk about Degas.
Why not?
Because I'll tell you one.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the...
He's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Everybody in this segment is dead.
Okay, good.
I've always liked Degas. I studied ballet it was one of I've studied all forms of dance, but
Sure.
that ballet was just the first thing that went, nope. And my daughter was on point or whatever, and it's great. And I like the little Degas ballerinas. I have them hanging up downstairs and so on and so on.
Yeah. It's a very evocative statue.
We're gonna be talking about the hidden tragic history of the Degas ballerinas.
Okay.
The little girls.
Okay. I thought it was just one.
No. The statue was one.
Okay. Yeah, but he painted her as well a couple times. Yeah. Marie something?
Are you doing this or am I doing this?
I just happen to know this.
Well, good for you. Okay.
I studied art history.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm an
okay, so
historian.
you'll correct me if I'm... Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that all these years. You never told me you were a historian. Did you know I was a school teacher?
I know. Really?
Yeah, I know.
I thought you were a ballerina.
Yeah, I'm a ballerina. And you're an astronaut. Okay, so you'll correct me if I'm... No.
No,
okay.
I won't. You go. You do your thing.
Okay. So Degas ballerinas, do you know that they were like tragic and sad, these little girls?
Didn't a lot of them become prostitutes? Though?
Yep.
Okay.
These poor little girls represent the harsh reality behind the glamour of 19th century ballet in Paris.
Yeah.
Very poor young girls known as les petites rats. Isn't that nice?
That's a...
Little rats.
Ew.
Now that has two meanings.
Okay.
One is depicting the girls scurrying around the stage.
Mm-hmm.
But the other is the dirty little animals living in the sewers, enduring grueling work, exploitation, financial hardship, and even prostitution at times.
Yeah.
In order to survive.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wasn't really aware of it much until lately, because I've always liked the pictures of the ballerinas and, well, I look at it differently now. Again, we've had this discussion on the show before about separating the art from the artist.
Yeah.
Now, Degas was a wealthy patron of the arts. Okay, very nice. He was considered to be a mentor or protector. Okay. Very nice.
Sure.
That can also be considered predatory behavior of a man watching his prey, watching these little girls. You like to think of patrons supporting the arts, these really rich men or women, and they give their patrons money to become artists or writers, and in a way he did that, but it's just ew. So we're going to talk about Marie van Gotham. She was born in Paris to Belgian parents seeking a better life. Now, she was one of three sisters.
Yes.
Their lives illustrate the swings of fate for this poor family, right? So you have three little girls. The eldest daughter, who did pose for Degas, eventually went to spend time in prison for theft.
Fun. Okay.
The youngest, who entered the opera with Marie, pursued a career there until she became a respected dance professor. Okay. So the two sisters went two different ways, okay? It shows that few dancers could climb from the gutter to the top, but sadly, that wasn't Marie's destiny. Okay. Marie hangs out at a tavern. Yes, children hang out at a tavern, apparently. Named La Rat Mort, again with the rats, or the Dead Rat.
That sounds like
the Dead Rat.
I mean,
okay, who's playing?
It sounds like a hole in the wall, but I bet you the food's good.
Yeah, I guess they serve cheese. It was a bar in the middle of the red light district in Paris. Yeah, there's very little doubt that Marie's widowed mother was prostituting out probably all three of the daughters.
Yeah, okay.
So Marie eventually gets dismissed from dancing because of tardiness.
She was too busy giving blowjobs in the back.
Exactly. Who knows? Right? Yeah, she comes in late. In 1881, there was a wax figure painted skin color, set with red hair and genuine clothes. So kind of like the wax figures at Madame Tussauds, that are just like that, or kind of look like a very strange doll. Okay, Degas put it on a pedestal inside a glass case, raising it to the status of. So he makes this big thing about her. Okay. We don't know whatever happened to Marie after that, right? One of her sisters winds up a thief. One of her sisters winds up... She's the model. And unfortunately, we don't know what happened. She dies eventually. Did she fall into an anonymous life? But there's always that wax double of her that remains, okay? It's the little dancer sculpture that's in the National Gallery of Art in D.C. It's pretty, it's spooky, it is what it is. So let's go back to this underbelly world of male patrons or abonis Abbones. We all know I can't pronounce anything, but that's how I'm pronouncing it. So there. They prowl backstage, offering money or apartments to these little girls. Now you're blurring the line between art and prostitution.
Right.
Patrons of the arts.
Right.
Like what we think of now, I hope.
Yeah.
These girls, unfortunately, seem to be caught up in a world of economic and sexual vulnerability.
Yeah.
Although Degas himself supposedly rejected his model sexually, he demanded that these little models pose for hours at a time, enduring discomfort and contorted and even cruel positions to stay in that position. It's terrible. He definitely was misogynistic and cantankerous by what people said. Now, by the 1800s, ballet was already taking a backseat to opera.
Okay.
So Degas himself created over 1,500 paintings, sketches, and sculptures of these little girls.
Uh-huh.
Most of the Degas work shed the girls, if you look at them, show the girls not necessarily performing. When I took a second look at some of the ones I have, they're not necessarily performing on stage. They're warming up in rehearsals or in their dressing rooms.
Yeah.
So it kind of became an okay thing at that time for viewers, for patrons to come and gawk at the dancers and their legs.
Okay.
Which makes me nauseous. In Paris in particular, ballet became intertwined with sex work. The girls needed ballet to help out their families and their careers, and their careers needed benefactors. So it's like some weird male voyeurism with women in exaggerated, almost inhumane positions.
Yeah.
Now, I also love Rockwell. I mean, this is totally different, but yet Rockwell's models would complain he would make them keep the same pose, with at least the face.
Yeah.
Okay, we've talked about a couple of seasons ago, Bob Fosse, who also drew inspiration from human form in his art, and these girls also. I mean, I love Fosse, but some of these positions and some of these moves are very explicit. What's his face? Degas had the same thing with these little girls.
Yeah.
He used color and technique in his work, which he used as an emphasis, but also would sometimes describe it as an orgy of color. Ew. Yeah. Degas apparently also went a little Miss Sugar. Toward the end of his career, his remaining artist friend was only Renoir. Okay. Degas secluded himself. So you wonder what goes through these perverted. I'm going to be a benefactor, and I'm going to support the arts of these little girls that I know are beholden. They were clearly taking advantage of the art form. It broke my heart when I started to delve more into what these girls. I've always enjoyed looking at Degas. Yeah. I've done a little ballet. My daughter was on point, and I know what. I would hate to think of, I know that was 1,000 years ago, but you hate to think of somebody wanting to sponsor, and it goes on now. Sure. Oh, I'll give you a music career. I'll give you a hip hop career. I'll give you a modeling career. Yeah. It's the same thing. Yeah. It just, I have trouble separating the art from the artist with this, because I've always enjoyed the little banner. Look how cute. Look how pretty. Yeah. And then when I started doing
what's going behind the scenes. Right.
Having done the research on this and realizing how sordid, it really, and as a parent, it makes you nauseous. So I don't know what to do with my Degas that I have. I don't know. Maybe I'll find out where your friend Jonathan Christ was selling.
He's not my
stuff.
friend.
He's your buddy.
No.
Maybe I'll find out where he was selling his stuff, and maybe I'll sell my Degas there. I don't know. But I never, up until recently, I've always, like paintings and, different artists and, this guy's water lilies and this guy's ballerinas and this guy's, scenes and whatever.
But you think about what these guys were doing behind the scenes.
And what these girls had to go through. Right. Yeah. These little girls, he's painting them warming up and I didn't really realize that the ones that I have, they're not performing. You think they are, but upon a second look, I mean, I just saw a little ballerina, look how cute, the little dresses. And I'm like, look at it now. Why is this guy in the dressing room with them?
Yeah, I understand that his studio was right down the street.
Naturally.
from where this ballet studio or shop was.
Woodstock. Where else is it good?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because,
And also, he was a fairly wealthy guy, and he had this fancy studio, and right down the street from, the poorest part of Paris, where this family, Marie and her family, were living.
Right.
I remember researching this a while back and being fascinated with it, and
In a
I'm like,
creepy way, right?
you're hanging out in this slum where these poor girls are trying to
survive and live.
And I just,
it's that juxtaposed. But look, Manhattan is the same way.
Yeah.
I remember, I don't know how 8th was, 7th Avenue, 8th Avenue was just, and then you go around the corner.
Yeah.
And that's reality. I understand that. But to take it back, you got all this money and, you're whatever it is you're doing, I don't know. How about putting them through college?
Yeah. Well,
how about getting them dinner?
I think that's probably how they see it. He would pay them so many dollars for them to sit for 4 hours or whatever.
Right.
And it was, nothing, but he saw it as, you're going to be able to eat tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm helping them.
Yeah.
And I know, but there's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
There's got to be a better way rather than gawking at them and contorting them, to help them.
I'm not an artist. I don't know how to draw somebody in the days before photography and such.
Right.
How do you do that? I don't know.
Oh, I can't draw a straight line. I don't think I can walk a straight line for that matter.
Yeah.
But I know that if I was a patron and I had enough money to be a patron and there were these poor children that were starving, I think I'd find a better way to help the family.
But you're a good person.
Thank you.
I don't know that Degas was. He was a good artist. Was he a good person? I don't know.
Right. That's what made me, again, now I'm having trouble separating the art from the artist. So
we always do.
the thwarted, story behind his ballerinas.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
All right. Well, disappointing.
That was another disappointing.
Sad.
Yeah.
It's a little sad, but it does make you look at the art in a different way. That really does,
Right, and that's what we do, breathers. We want to make you think. Next time you pull up a Degas, think about what this little girl was going through.
Exactly. Yeah.
There you have it.
All right. Well, folks.
Another.
I know. I can't. Again, it's
tragic.
Yeah, a little sad, a little tragic. I wonder. Nobody knows what happened to Maria, so it really is.
See, what happened to her after that? All we have left is that sculpture.
Yeah.
I like to think that she went on and everything was good, rather than her die. I can't think of that little girl dying in the gutter.
Yeah.
Okay.
On that note, keep breathing.
Yeah. Thank you for listening, breathers. See you next time
on
another.
Tragic, sad, disappointing episode.
There you go.
No.
All my favorite people are dead.
Bye.
All my favorite people are dead. I say it. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead.